Hi cubies, here's your Alexandra, and welcome to part number 3 of how to paint a Space Ork. After 2 days of working on the trophies for my painting contest and a little bit of real life, I'm now going back to business. So what I'm doing here right now is I'm painting on the first real red coat, and I'm using a color mixture out of 50-50 scab red and blood red. Watered it down with 1 drop of water, and now I'm painting simply the surface and leaving the dark recesses behind. So, simply like that. You want to have a nice even coverage of the red. For this instance it is better with a liquid version of the red. And as you can see, it's nice and covering. And now, as you know, I will skip forward and paint the rest of the red parts. I'll be back in a second. As you now can see, the red parts have a first well-covering coat of red over the surface. And now we are going to highlight these areas with blood red. And this color is also watered down a little bit. So I get always the question, how many water do you put into your paint? Just the tip of the brush. Put it in the water and then mixing it. It's easy like that. Well, if you have much color, for example, this amount of color here, this is just a tip of a brush. Double amount, 2 times, and so on and so on. So, and you get a nice workable color, and where you can highlight. As you can see here, the difference between the red tones. So for normal, playable miniature, high tabletop standard, like this here, this is absolutely okay. Well, you could make a wet blending here and make it even smoother, but, well, as an orc player, you will have to paint from these guys 20, then at least 60 of the normal boys, and yeah, you know what I mean, right? You could possibly spend several hours on just this little miniature here, but I'm guessing you don't want that. You want a nice recipe on how to get the miniature a nice look, but also fast. And that I'm giving here. As you can see, I'm hitting now the upper parts, mostly directly from above. And we try to give it a nice appearance here. Oops. Sorry, I was out of focus, out of camera. Well, and I think this here should be enough for the highlight purpose. Yes, you could possibly go now to a mixture of blood red and blazing orange, or fiery orange if you have that color, and then blazing orange and making the highlights on the edges. And no, we will go for other way. We will make battle damage, and too many highlights and battle damage that will erase itself out, so we will only go for one of this. So now let's go for the battle damage. For this instance, we first need blazing orange, then black, and bolt gun metal. And I'll show you what I'm doing with this. First, you make blazing orange on your palette. Tiny little amount there, you can see. We don't mix their water in it. And then we make here, for example, a tiny stroke. There you can see. Then, for example, we want a battle damage here around that helmet. So, and maybe here on the shoulder one. So, and on the back, we're making this here. So, now we take the black. What we are doing now is we are painting in the black directly above the orange, but leave a tiny stroke of that blazing orange behind. So you can see there. This is a tiny little highlight line. Also here. And here on the back. There we make it a little bit more rough. As you can see. So, and the one on the shoulder here. So, now we're taking the bolt gun metal. Be sure you have a nice pointy edge of your brush, and then we make exactly the same with the silver, but leave a little bit of the black behind. That this is a little bit of shadow of color that is wiped off. As you can see there. Now the same here on the shoulder. And make it a little bit rough. That's okay. Here we make the scratch. Just one tiny little line. Just like that. And the one here on the back with the rough lines. So, and there we have it. Some little battle damage on the Ork armor. Well, you could go over and again and make more and more and more, but I think that's enough for now and for demonstration purposes. Well, and that's enough for today. I hope you enjoyed this little painting tutorial, and we will see us in the next video. See you, your Alexandra.